U.S. president. So actually, U.S. president benchmark for us how to be leaders, how to get charisma, and how to demonstrate leaderships as well as the communicate ideas to the whole world or the country. So how to be a leader? And I think Jeff prepared something for us to share with us, a workshop. He's going to present a topic called Road to DTM, and he will share his point of view how to be a DTM.
Let me set this up first. I seem to be running into some difficulties, so I'm going to restart this computer and then see if we get any better results. But in the meantime, let me take a good look here. First of all, I apologize for being a little bit late today. Stuck in traffic, so sometimes things happen. But as leaders, we adapt to the environment, so we always got to make certain adjustments. So, I called up, I WhatsApp Wilson. It's like, I can't make it on time, so let's see if you can slot someone else in there. Fill in for me for a bit. So Wallace helped me out here and went ahead today. Good evening, everybody, fellow Toastmasters, and I see we have some guests here. So, how many of you have actually heard of Toastmasters? Well, besides our members, I'm sure. Have you all heard of Toastmasters before? Do you know what Toastmasters is about? No? Okay. So Toastmasters is basically an international organization, and they've developed a very structured program to help people. I don't have eyes in the back of my head, so this is a bit difficult. To help everyone develop public speaking and leadership skills.
Very distracting.
That's very see if I can see stuff on my screen as well. Yeah, lesson number 1 of lesson 0 of presentations. Things never work when you're just trying to So Toastmasters is actually very structured. When I first started, I was like, wow, I see these great people up there speaking about, delivering speeches, they look great. I'm like, yeah, I really want to do this public speaking stuff. But behind the scenes, there's actually more to it. There's a lot of structure. It's not just people going up there practicing over and over again the same kind of stuff. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the entire program is. For those of us who are already Toastmasters, so we know what's going on, and for our guests as well, so you can understand what Toastmasters is about and what kind of value we can deliver to talked about there's public speaking, so that's communication. There's also a leadership track that people don't usually hear too much about. You know, Toastmasters always people standing up on stage speaking, but behind the scenes, when you run a club, or you know, when you get to levels beyond the clubs here, when you're managing multiple clubs, or what we call areas or divisions, a lot of leadership comes into play. So there's, in this program, there's the leadership track and the communication track. At the very beginning, you have something what you call, there's a competent stage. So there's a competent leader, competent communicator. These are the core projects. Both of them, there's 10 projects in each stage. And then as you advance, there's a more complicated projects. So I'll talk a little bit about the communication aspect first, which is what most people are familiar with. So it's, the communication track consists of many speaking projects. We have manuals, so when you first become a member, you get a manual called the Competent Communicator Manual, which I'm sure most of you already have. And it's got a series of projects in there with very clear descriptions of, okay, the first one is icebreaker. So I need to get myself comfortable in front of an audience so I can deliver a speech properly. The contents don't really matter, but when you're on stage, just feel comfortable on stage. So there's always a series of objectives for you to accomplish and takeaways. And when you complete all 10 of them, you will get a recognition for achieving what we call a competent communicator status. So this little badge that I have here says competent communicator. So that means I've completed the first 10 projects that that's in this manual. And you can go beyond that. Well, let me show you what the list of projects are. So each one specifically targets certain skills. So for example, the icebreaker, like I said, get comfortable in front of an audience. Organize your speech. So have structure within your speech. How to say it, how your body speaks, body gestures, vocal variety. So there's always going to be something that you focus on in each particular speech. And there will be an evaluator who will analyze how well you did with regards to those objectives. And that's the way people can develop your communication skills in a very structured manner within Toastmasters. So this is very straightforward. And if you go further on, there's advanced communicator bronze, silver, and gold. So I won't go very far into those, but beyond those, there's advanced manuals, and each one has a series of projects. You complete those and a certain number of projects, and then you reach the bronze, silver, and gold status. So I'll just gloss over those. But I'll give you a list of what the manuals are, so you get an idea of how diverse the curriculum is. So things like speaking humorously. And we have humor speech contests. So these type of manuals will help you in those regards. There's interpersonal communication, storytelling, persuasive speaking. There's one about management somewhere, right? Speeches by management. So there's plenty of things where you can find that are applicable to you in your professional life, in addition to just having fun here at Toastmasters. So this is the stuff that most people will see at Toastmasters. When they go up on stage and they're delivering a speech, usually it's one of these projects. So they have very clear goals as to what they want to achieve with their speeches. And these are just how you can reach the advanced communicator different levels. Basically just do more manuals and do some special projects. That's basically the formula. The leadership track is something that not most people are familiar with. So especially, I think, our new members. How many of you have the Competent Leader Manual with you? That's pretty good. Well, every time we are in a role, so in our meeting we have facilitators, we have people who keep track of our time, make sure that our grammar is good, make sure that we're not making too many unnecessary sounds. And then we've also got people who help run the entire meeting. So we have Doris who's leading us through the entire meeting. So all those things require some sort of skills, timekeeping skills, time management skills. So those are the type of things that people don't really think about. They come and they think, okay, I'm going to help out with the timer today. I'll just raise some signs, or I'll just keep track of the time, or I'll keep track of how many necessary sounds you make. You're actually learning something from that. So this is the stuff that we don't normally tell people, but it's actually happening in the background. So similar to the competent communicator, there's also a series of 10 projects for the competent leader manual, and they're designed to develop basic skills that leaders need. And of course, when you finish this as well, you also get a new sign. I think you'll start getting a lot of acronyms on it instead of just competent communicator. So Charles has completed both competent communicator and competent leader, so he'll have CC and CL on his tag. And as you progress up the levels, you'll get a newer sign with more abbreviations, which will mean cooler stuff, higher status. Here's a brief of what, you have a, yeah, you have a graph. So this is what the matrix looks like for achieving competent leader. So you'll see that there's a series of skills at the top. So these are the projects. For example, listening and leadership, critical thinking, giving feedback. These are all skills that leaders need. And it's not just, you take on one role, but you take on different roles. And so you're in different shoes as a leader, practicing the same skills, just to reinforce that training for you. So Wilson has very kindly created this spreadsheet for us. So you basically look at the requirements, and it says, for example, here it says you just need to complete any 3 of these roles in order to fulfill the project. So you just go across and you look at, okay, let's see. Wallace today was a table topic master, so you can fulfill time management or planning and implementation. So it's a little bit complicated in the sense that you need to do multiple projects. You need to take on multiple roles to complete a project. But there's actually the path of least resistance, let's call that. So you take up the minimum amount of roles and you do the least amount of work necessary to get you through all these projects. I won't tell you what that is, just to encourage you to try out more roles. But you can also do that on your own and try to figure out which is the easiest. Maybe some people don't really like doing some of these. This is also split into 2 sections. So we're here at a meeting. So we're taking on roles such as giving a speech or evaluating a speech. So these are the meeting roles. And then there's also things that we do behind the scenes. For example, when we have to organize a speech contest, or we're organizing, or one of the things that I do is I produce a newsletter for this club. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we also do, and you can train your skills, your leadership skills in these ways, in 2 different ways. So, go home, take a look at this spreadsheet and figure out what are the things that you want to do. Or also look at what are the things that you have done, and make sure someone fills out your leadership manual for you. So similarly for the leadership track, there's also bronze and silver. So I won't go through all of those, but it's very similarly you achieve the CL award, the CC award, and then you fulfill some extra criteria. So here it's 6 months as club officer. So for those of you who don't know, we have VPs of membership, PR, we have treasurers. So those are different roles that we need to run the club. And of course we have our president who's not here today. But definitely there's a lot of different roles, a lot of different ways you can contribute, and at the same time you can still develop your leadership skills in these ways. There's a lot of details in these slides that I can come back to you when we actually reach these, because they're a little bit far away and I won't spend too much time on them. So once you finish all of the leadership phases, so advanced communicator gold and advanced leadership silver, you will become what's called a distinguished Toastmasters. And this is the highest achievement in all of Toastmasters. You've done a lot of things, you've served for the Toastmaster community, you've done a lot of presentations, speeches, so that you're a really good presenter and you're also a very good leader. And that's the ultimate goal of Toastmasters. Like if you ever want to get there, is to be a distinguished Toastmasters. Of course, some people just feel like, oh, I just want to come here and have fun, take up roles whenever I want to. I don't care about the credit. So not everyone feels like they need to become a distinguished Toastmasters. And there's some other people who, first day of joining Toastmasters, they said, I want to be a DTM in 5 years, and they actually do it. It's a lot of work, So do it at your own pace. If you feel like I have a lot of time and I want to do this, then you can plot it out. Or if you just want to have fun, you don't really care too much about this, you can still have a good time without worrying about filling up all of your manuals. So here is the leadership and communication tracks again. As a Toastmasters member, I urge you all, because you paid money to become a member, I urge you to take value out of this as much as possible. So if you feel like you want to give your first 3 speeches within 2 months, then set a goal. If you want to become a confident communicator within 1 year, set a goal. We are very lucky because our club has a mentorship program. So if you're a new member, we assign you a mentor, and they're now responsible for helping you to get through your first 3 speeches, as well as help you keep track of your confident leadership projects. So they'll help you, they'll guide you through the entire process, make sure that you're getting your proper credit for your manuals, for all the work that you do, and to help you plot your course throughout the entire Toastmasters journey. So that's about as brief and concise as a summary I can give you. If you have any extra questions, I'm happy to take them. Anyone have any?
How long have you spent from a new member to DTM?
How long would I spend? I think for me to become a DTM, it'll probably take like 20 years. Well, I think it really depends on what you want to get out of it, because when I first joined Toastmasters, it was this club about 2 years ago, and at first I just wanted to become, I just wanted to improve my public speaking skills, so I wasn't really worried about the leadership aspect of it. And then, a week or 2 ago, we started thinking about, we want to help our members, we want to encourage our members to develop the leadership aspect as well. So I took a look at the CL manual and I said, hey, I think I've done like more than 90% of the stuff already. I just didn't fill out the manual and get the proper credit. So probably you've been doing a lot of things already, and you might be like halfway through CL without knowing it. But if you come more to our meetings, take up more meeting rules, or help out more behind the scenes with our club, and come here and give an occasional speech, then you can actually get there. I think the fastest we've seen is like 2 or 3 years, which is pretty crazy. But a lot of people take their time, and I think a lot of people finish probably after 10 years. So we have very seasoned people within our community like this. I think you can ask some of them. Probably like Talis or Irene, like you've seen them around before. You can ask them any of them. They all have their different stories to tell you. Some of them probably took a break to have kids or whatever. Some of them are hardworking single people, so they get there a little bit faster. So it really depends on your objectives and how quickly you want to do this. I don't really have my eyes set on DTM right now, but we'll see if we get there. But I should be done with CL probably in a couple of months. Anybody else have questions? Any of our guests? Do you understand a word that I said?
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, I think I'll hand it over back to Melissa.
Oh, thank you.